hope you're having a great Friday. I know we are ticking down to the weekend. Maybe you're about to clock out soon. The kids getting off the bus soon. Are you doing pizza tonight? What are we doing? Talking weekend plans.
No, I got the shoulder shimmy going on because I'm so excited.
We have a great show to wrap up the week. And one of the things I'm so excited about, I have this deep passion for reading right now, and we do this wonderful segment on Pittsburgh Today Live, and it's all about books and the library, and it's called Books and Beyond because our libraries have so much more to offer outside of just books. There are so many programs, and one of those is in the Cranberry Library. We are going to talk about their new program where it's giving kids confidence to learn how to read aloud, and it's through dogs.
Through dogs.
They get to read to dogs, and this is Brutus. We're going to get to meet Brutus in just a little bit, learn more about the program. If you want to volunteer, how you can get involved, if you want to sign your kiddos up for it, we're going to tell you all that coming up.
Oh, sweet, sweet Brutus. I can't wait to see how that works.
He did give me a hug earlier. It was a good hug. It was a good hug. Something else we want to talk about off the record was last night, and as you know, it's off the record, so there's not a ton that comes out of it unless you're there.
Right.
I missed it last night.
It should be. I've never been before, but I hear it's good every year.
It's fantastic. We did have some insider scoop because Daisy was in the production, and you could see back there Alante, who also helped promote the show on Pittsburgh Today Live. We are so excited about this, that it was able to raise money for the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank once again. We're hoping to get the total soon.
Yes.
But it is such a fun night. Ken Rice was also honored. He has been the longtime MC of the show. They celebrated 25 years last night.
Well, that's a long time. And I hear he does a fantastic job.
Oh my gosh.
At MCing. Like his comedic timing is so good.
And recently retired John Delano, he also was honored last night because he has participated in many years. I don't know if it's been the full 25, but in many years of the program. So he was also honored last night. And it's always a really fantastic evening. So hope you were able to get out there because it's one night only and off the rock.
Yes.
Record. As we head into the weekend, we want to talk about this. It seems that people are bored and they're looking to spice things up.
Spice?
Yes. And before you think anything like that, I'm talking about in the workplace. They are not looking, they are just bored. We are flat out bored. This was a talker poll. They surveyed 2,000 white collar and knowledge workers, which I'd never heard that term before,
knowledge workers,
and 1,000 IT decision makers. Again, these are terms I'm not familiar with, but they said that in surveying all of these people, these 3,000 people, they are bored of the mundane tasks. So what are we talking about? Low value tasks like copying and pasting, managing emails, catching up on team communication.
Oh, so fun.
And data entry. People also blamed frustrating work technology. This made me think so much about Office Space. Do you remember the movie Office Space?
Oh, do I ever.
When they get so frustrated with the printer that they steal it, take it out into a field. Take a bat to it. Yes. It makes me think about that. And I do think that when you start to feel like a grunt worker, like you are just doing these repetitive things after one day after another, and Friday finally comes, that's why you start to feel that, I don't have to check email this weekend.
Yeah.
Is there something that you do in your day that provides that feeling?
I think for me, it's always those just mundane kind of those tasks that you don't want to do. So in my mind, I have learned to do the thing that I want to do the least first.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you kind of have to get creative with it because I think a lot of reasons why people are quitting because they're bored, because they feel isolated. So even if you can't talk to someone, for me, I'll put on a nice YouTube video while I'm typing away. Or I'll listen to some fun music. Yeah, I'll put my headphones on, and then so if you see me at my desk and it's because I'm enjoying myself. I'm connecting with something else, a lot more fun, while I do something really boring.
Okay, so that's so interesting because my brain cannot compute if I am listening to music or watching a show or have a video playing somewhere else and I'm trying to type, I can't concentrate on that sentence that I'm writing.
Well, that's why sometimes when I'm writing, I'll actually accidentally type the lyric to a song and then I have to go back no.
She's like, what a man, what a
mighty good man.
As you're typing away.
But also, I look at it okay, if it's something, it's, replying to all of these emails or whatever, I look at it okay, this is not the most exciting thing, but it's for the greater good of the show in the long run. So that gives me a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
It's all of these mind games that you have to play with yourself.
I'm the employee you don't want to see coming.
Yeah.
I love a good meeting. Let's order pizza. Let's make it fun. Let's jazz it up. I love a good meeting. My inbox is cleared. All of them. I have a Hotmail, a Gmail, my work email. They're all clear.
They're all clear.
I have 0 emails unread right now.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm impressed. I'm not surprised.
I'm not saying that the mundane tasks are, but I don't know. It's easy for me to do, and so I don't mind it. I'm like, oh, this is easy.
Well, you're very type A. You're very type A. You're very like, I get that. You know what? Have you ever, let's meet. Have you ever heard of the 90-minute rule? Of which I apply to. It's where you power through for 90 minutes. You do all of the, the task and all of the emails and all of the whatever, the phone calls. And then for 15 minutes, you take a break. So you take a walk outside. You get a bite to eat. You get a smoothie.
I can't do that. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done now. We don't need a break.
Even if it takes you like past 90 minutes, you don't.
I can go all day and not go to the bathroom because going to the bathroom means taking a break. And I'm just going to keep going.
Oh, I can never do that. The way my bladder is set up. I have bladder issues. So speaking of taking a break, a lot of people were taking a dance break. So there was a recent 2025 study that showed the benefits of dance in younger people especially, which has resulted in many schools incorporating dance into their curriculum. There was also a 2024 study that showed the benefit of dance for improving your mood. Harvard, they have done studies on this as well. Now, sports and exercise, they help with mood, but dance seemed to come out on top of all of those things. And it really doesn't matter what type of dance it is. It's so effective that it's been used to treat Parkinson's disease, also to decrease the risk of dementia. And it's because it's syncing movement and music all at the same time, and it's firing on very prominent 2 areas in your brain. And that's why it works so well.
Well, isn't dance kind of, it's like in the beginning of humanity as we are creating everything. Music, we can go back, and I don't know the history of music, but we can go back so far and see that music has always existed. And because there's always been music, there's always been performative dance or just dance in general. That's just, I think it's ingrained in who we are as humans as we started to develop as human beings. So it makes so much sense. I don't know. For us and our family, it's just having the music on and dancing while we're making dinner. Do you know what I mean?
That's fun.
Yeah, I just think that if you have it on, if you have music playing, you are going to dance. It's just going to happen naturally. I think that everybody can your mood can change while you're listening to it, and then you just start having fun with it.
Yeah. I love that, and I love dancing. So instead of workout videos or anything of that nature, you can find me at any given time in the back room of my house, which is kind of like my exercise area. I will have a music video on, and I am getting down. I am sweating. I am in the video, but it's a great workout. It lifts your mood. I take dance classes whenever I can. It's just, I love it. It's so much fun.
It's great. That's really fun.
Yeah. Well, since, dance makes you so happy, let's talk about some other things that can make you happy as well. I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast. I love her. I love the work that she does. She was interviewing a guy by the name of Yung Pueblo. He's an expert in the self-healing area, and he talks about how there are 3 healthy habits that you should have to live a much better life. The first one is to be grateful for the little things. And so you're building this pool of positivity. Notice when your system is overwhelmed and have the ability to say no, because that clears space for things that maybe are more important, like relationships or even rest that you can say yes to. And don't hide or conceal your love. Like, tell your family members, tell friends that you love them. And I think a lot of people are afraid of maybe being rejected or the embarrassment that comes from that. But if you can care without ego, without any strings, it's really a freeing feeling.
Yeah. No, I agree with all these. It's funny because the saying no was at number 2 on the list.
Yes.
This, as you know, has been my year of no, and it has been incredibly freeing. I realized that, especially this past year in saying no to a lot of things, is that nobody knows, and going back to something that I heard in a podcast, how full your bathtub is. So in this podcast that I was listening to, she described your brain as being a bathtub. And if you leave the water running, it's just going to keep overflowing.
Right.
So people will continue to fill your bathtub until it overflows and you lose your mind.
Yes.
So you have to shut the water off. And I shut the water off. And it was so nice. My bathtub is still full, but it's full
Are we
because
talking metaphorically? Because I know how much you love
I do love baths too. But I have found in using that phrase, what she said, it's brought a whole new meaning to me. In saying no, I have been able to fill my bathtub with the things that I want to, because no one knows that if they ask you to do something, that you've already been asked to do 50 other things.
Yeah, right.
No one knows that, and so they're not going to be offended if you say no. Because they don't understand what else you have going on. So It has been the easiest situation to be in, to just say no to everything.
Just say no. It feels
I love
good.
it.
I think I've been in that era too. But I realize that, whenever you're in the business of people pleasing, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm a people pleaser, but I think we've all been guilty of it. But people who are habitually that, they tend to, like the experts say, you lack self-love because you put other people first.
Yeah.
Before yourself on a regular basis. So I completely get that. But I love the idea of just being grateful for the little things. It kind of reminds me of romanticizing your life. So just, the cup of coffee that you get and just really taking it all in.
I love it.
I love that idea.
We're going to end this Friday on something I found hysterical because I have been there before. Now, before we show you this video, I want to say that maybe we don't condone this, just that we've been there before. So take a look at this. This is Lauren using, no brace, no shoes, no help. She sees this hutch that she had in her house and she wants to get it up onto this other piece of furniture. So what does she do? She says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it by myself. And starts to move it. I can't tell you how many times I have been in this situation. I started to dig into the comments, which gave me so much joy. These are just a few of them. I'm convinced women built the pyramids. I don't know about y'all, but we changed our furniture around in our bedrooms like once a month growing up. At 7, I was pushing mahogany. That I agree with. I feel like we moved our bedroom furniture so much as kids. I remember this so well. And then someone else said, bare feet is an integral part of the process. I've never done any of this nonsense by nonsense wearing shoes.
You know what? I think we've all been here before. But if I can, I'm going to wait until Jordan comes home to do that.
That's because we're older. And not because we can't move the same way. I'm just saying, I don't
years ago, I would have called TaskRabbit to do it. Like,
really?
Even in younger years when I didn't maybe have a partner or something. Yeah.
All right, well, going back to the first thing we talked about, I'm type A, as you know. So give me an IKEA piece of furniture and leave me alone.
I've done it before.
So happy.
I've done that before and tried to put it together, but then I have extra parts, and I know it's not supposed to be that way.
I love instructions and a good little tiny tool.
Oh my gosh, you're so interesting. Well, Robert De Niro may have made it sound a little intimidating in the clip from Taxi Driver, but science says letting out that inner dialogue can be good for you.
From getting motivated to keeping calm, a good pep talk might be the secret to a healthier mind. Dr. Katie is here to share why we should all start the conversation with ourselves. And when we say this, we mean it's okay out loud to have these
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is okay. It is normal. It is a good thing to do. Think about it. Like, we all have young kids. Yes. I don't know. Your youngest, Rocco, might not, he might be growing out of it, but does Logan talk to himself?
All the time.
Yeah, and it's normal. It is totally normal. And I love like spying on my kid and hearing, okay, now T-Rex goes here. He's working through processes.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this and I have a question, like, do we grow out of it or are we socialized out of it? And I think it's a little bit of both. And what happens is we actually have a way of talking to ourselves that isn't out loud that everybody thinks is great, right? Journaling. So we get told, take that. It is absolutely the same thing. You're writing it down. It's an external process. But I want everybody to start talking to themselves out loud more.
Say no more.
Say no more. I do it often, sometimes in the grocery store, like I find myself talking to myself and going over the list that I have in my head. But what are the benefits?
So exactly what you're saying. First of all, anything you have to memorize, it helps to say it out loud because then you're engaging differently, right? You're saying it and you're hearing it. It helps to actually with tasks like locating things. There have been multiple studies where if you say what you're looking for, like say it's your keys, keys, while you're walking around and looking, you find them faster with the idea being that helps you visualize it.
Yeah.
Frankie's still trying to find his car keys from when we moved a year and a half ago.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Frankie.
Probably not.
I don't think that one's going to work. But like, he's someone who could use it at work probably, right? Walking through processes.
So it's interesting that you mentioned even finding something, because my friend told me, this was a couple years ago, right out of the pandemic, she was switching careers. And so she started looking in the mirror and saying, like a manifestation that she wanted out loud.
Yes.
And so it was just this one phrase. And so every morning she would wake up and she would look in the mirror and she would say this one phrase. And I don't know if it came true fully, but she made it happen.
Right. So it's interesting that I did not know we would go into manifestation today, but I love that idea, because manifestation, to me, I have done some research on like, what is the science behind it? It's almost about recognizing, right? It's building that up in yourself, which is what your friend was doing. She was getting familiar with that feeling so that then when it happens, you recognize it and you don't shy away from it.
Right.
But another thing that works for is just emotional regulation and actually calming yourself down or processing events that maybe were disturbing.
Okay. We're going to be okay. It's all good. Just saying it out loud.
Absolutely.
Give us some other examples of that, because I do feel like when we talk to ourselves sometimes, I mean, a lot of times it can be positive, but then also it can be negative. So what are some positive things that we can do to talk to ourselves so it's beneficial?
Interestingly, only 30 to 50% of people have an inner monologue. I always thought it was more because mine is going all the time.
Yeah.
But if you take that and say it out loud and you're hearing it, you can actually work with it, right? It slows the whole thing down. It gives you psychological distance. And then if you say your own name, like, okay, Mikey, I know that was a weird situation. There's actually studies showing that people with social anxiety, if they walk through an incident afterwards and they talk to themselves out loud, calling themselves by name, they don't ruminate as much about it. It kind of feels done.
We talked about, what was it, Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood, yeah.
A couple
Very
of weeks
popular.
So the other day I did talk to my plants in the garden outside. And I was just like, are we gonna get any more flowers this year? What's happening? So what if we're talking to our pets and our plants and other things that may not be able to talk back to us?
That is okay, but really, it's the talking to yourself. Like, I mean, that's fine, Heather. No, it's good. It's not going to hurt.
Okay.
And here's the other thing, because I think everybody gets concerned about, they're thinking about people who probably have severe and persistent mental illness and psychotic disorders. And I think it's important to recognize that those people are not talking to themselves, actually. They think they're talking to someone else.
Right.
If you know you are talking to yourself,
Fine.
you're fine. You're okay. You just might need to refine it a little bit to make it more helpful.
Well, I think it can be a little intimidating, because maybe you want to talk to yourself more, but you're afraid of what people will think if they hear you talking to yourself. They might think you're a little...
Listen, I can't tell you how many people come into session with this sheepish look. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, I was talking to myself. And I'm like, what did you say?
I think it's important what you said, though, is bringing it back to when we're kids. We don't have any feelings about it. It's just normal and natural and just happens. And then for some reason we stop. We grow out of all of these things that are ingrained in us.
Right. So it's time to ungrow, right? To go back to that.
Yeah. Good stuff. And now when you find us at the grocery store and we're reciting our list,
It's fine.
Why are there so many Oreos? I don't understand. Where are they? I just need the mega stuff. Where are they? If you're interested in booking a session with Dr. Katie Stewart, we're going to link you up on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
This was so freeing. Yes. Coming up on Talk Pittsburgh, what did Beethoven say after he walked through a haunted house? I'm not sure, but I hear that Boaz might know.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
I think so.
That's right. I don't know exactly what he said, but I'm pretty sure that at that point Beethoven was decomposing. See what I did there? Anyways, I'm here with the Chad and Baroque. They are getting ready for a very spooky musical performance. They're tuning up right now, and we're going to give you a preview of that right after the break.
You've probably heard of Baroque music, but have you ever heard of Baroque music?
Boaz is with a local group, Chatham Baroque, as they prepare for a special spooky show called Tales and Tunes of the Baroque. I hear you're getting a preview of the show, Boaz.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's been beautiful and also very spooky. I'm here with Scott, the co-artistic director. And for those folks who aren't familiar with Baroque music, I know, of course, the Baroque period, like we all know, was from 1600 to about 1750. And so you play music from that period?
That's right. We specialize in that little niche of classical repertoire, and but we do so on unusual instruments.
And so let's talk about the elephant in the room, this giant stringed instrument that's taller than me. What is this?
So this is called a theorbo, and it's a bass lute, basically. So the pear-shaped body is like a lute, but it has these extra long bass strings added to it.
Whoa, so you can get some different sounds and potentially some spooky sounds, because I know you have a sort of a Halloween-centric show coming up in a week or so.
That's right. On Saturday, October 25th, we're doing a show called Tales and Tunes of the Baroque, and we're doing it this year over at the New Hazlitt Theater on the north side. It'll be at 7:30 p.m., and it's kind of a look at the dark side of, kind of a tongue-in-cheek look at the dark side of the Baroque period.
And so what were some of those spookier, eerie things from the Baroque period?
So there's music about ghosts, about sorceresses and witches. There are composers who were murdered. There are composers who died of the plague. There are like dances about madness and dances about spiders. So all kinds of things that have to do with kind of the dark side.
Yeah. And speaking of unusual instruments, I also want to check in with Patricia over here, because it's smaller than a cello. It's bigger than a violin. What are we looking at?
This is called a viola da gamba. So you're right, it's body size. It actually is similar to a cello. It's more lightly constructed than a cello, so it's not as loud. And it also has many more strings, usually 6. I have my 7 string here for today. So it's 7 strings, frets on the neck. So a lot of differences compared to the cello, actually.
Yeah, very cool. And I also don't want to undersell. We've got Paul and Andrew over here on violins. And, of course, a classic violin. You love a violin. But yours is extra spooky. Is there anything extra haunted about this violin?
Oh, well, the varnish is mixed with blood. No, a little bit with the setup. We use strings made out of sheep gut, so that's somewhat...
That is sort of spooky.
And I don't use a chin rest or a shoulder rest. That's a big difference. There are a couple acoustic differences in the angle of the neck. Most notably, though, I have a few different kinds of bows. And these are both Baroque bows. You see, they kind of shape different than a modern bow. If anybody's seen one of those, they're longer, the modern bows. And this has like this outward camber, so it's kind of more similar to a bow. I don't know where we got the word bow for this particular implement, but that's my thought.
Very cool. And you had sort of another take on the spookiness of this concert, or the spookiness of musicians.
I'm actually on the faculty at Duquesne University. I teach music theory, and sometimes my students feel as though the work I give them is kind of terrifying. But this is the real thing here. But in all honesty, it's a great treat to play with these folks, and I'm very glad to be with them.
Yeah, well, we are going to get a snippet of part of the concert. And Pascal, what are you going to sing and play for us right now?
We're going to sing and play a song by Michel Lambert, a French composer. He's known in these parts as Mike Lambert. It's a song about the shadow of my dead lover that follows me around. So there's longing and a lot of eerie in this song.
Well, the shadow of my dead lover, that's definitely something I can relate to. So I'm going to hand it over to the Chatham Baroque for some spooky music.
That is beautiful, dark and deep.
I'm not spooked out at all. Like, I'm relaxed. It's soothing.
Beautiful. Yeah. Really cool.
Thank you, Boaz. Well, Tales and Tunes of the Baroque is happening next Saturday, October 25th, at the New Hazlitt Theater. We're going to have a link to tickets on our website.
I could have kept listening to that.
Too.
Really good. Still to come on the show, before you have kids, you have grand ideas of how you'll be a parent. And then you have kids and you realize how wrong you were. We're sharing some of our parenting misconceptions after the break.
back. Before you become a parent, you may have elaborate plans on how you'll raise your kids.
Oh yeah, but that first unpredictable sleepless night and you realize so much is out of your control. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't raise your kids the way that you want to.
Yeah.
Have your own rules and all of that in place. But you also know that there's not always total control over the situation, which is why this content creator, Helen Taylor, is getting such a big response to her video. And I don't want to hate on this woman because she doesn't know any better yet. Yet. She quoted on this video what my future kids are going to be getting when they ask for a snack. Now I want you to take a look at this because she proceeds to make this beautiful, I don't know if it's a dessert, but a pastry. I want to make it. I will be making it.
You will.
It is 20 steps long. I can't even imagine how long it took her to actually make it. And so in the comments, people were gentle but firm. I have to read you some of them because they were good. Bless your heart. I was a perfect parent too before I had kids. Right? Please adjust your recipe notes to include what we should be using to sedate our children beforehand. And here's another one of my favorite. With the next kid, you'll just sprinkle Cheerios on the floor.
That sounds about right.
And I think that, you know, before you have kids, you can see, I remember seeing a family member with their son, and they were making buttered noodles for their son, who was probably like 6 years old. And Frankie and I were like, we will never make a separate dinner for our kids when we have kids. Guess what? We do. Guess what we do? Because you are more concerned with them eating something than them crying at dinner or pushing it away and going hungry. So we do. I mean, you do these things that you never thought you would compromise on, and then you do them.
Right. I mean, because most kids are very picky eaters. I know at least Logan is. And so I thought to myself, like, okay, I'm going to have him eat his vegetables and he's going to, you know, eat these like fun meals that I prepare from scratch. No. All he wants right now is macaroni and cheese. So I have to prepare that separately just to make sure that he eats and he's getting some type of nourishment. But I think the thing that surprised me the most, I thought before having kids that I was going to be that parent that just had endless amounts of energy and had these activities planned, and we're going to read this book, and then after this book, we're going to read this book, and then go to the playground. No.
You're tired.
I mean, between work and lack of sleep and all of the other things that all of us moms have going on, you only have but so much energy. And I have found myself like just needing to take a break and go upstairs, and I'm just laying like flat out on the bed, staring at the ceiling just because I need a 10-minute break. And I'm exhausted.
We all feel it in our bones. Yeah, I think that there's so much. And you can have these ideas and these ideals of parenthood and what you want it to be. It has taught me so much that you cannot judge. You have no idea what somebody else's situation is if they're on shift work and so they're tired and so they're sitting there and they're maybe not, you know, paying attention while their kid is at the playground swinging on the swings, and they're just taking a moment just to decompress. Like, you can't judge everything because you have no idea how hard that parent is working and what they're doing. So
true.
Yeah. We know cold and flu season is coming, but there's another illness lurking. I've had it, maybe you have too. We're talking about shingles. There are about 1 million cases of shingles in the U.S. each year. So what can you do to make sure that you're not 1,000,001? Joining us is Fred Bensavanga, pharmacist, and Dr. Leonard Friedland. We're so happy to have you here to talk about this really important issue.
Thanks for having us.
Dr. Friedland, I'd like to start with you because you've spent your career as a pediatrician, a research scientist. So if you could give us a little background about shingles. The only thing that I know is that it's tied to chickenpox somehow.
Shingles is a disease that's characterized as a painful, blistering rash that can last weeks and can be very disruptive to our lives, our hobbies, our work, our sleep, our social activities. And you're absolutely right, Heather, they tie into chickenpox because this disease is caused by a virus. Now, why would the virus reactivate, Heather? And the major reason is advancing age, especially 50 years of age and older, as our immune systems naturally weaken. It allows the virus to reactivate, putting us at increased risk for shingles. And in fact, as we age, we're at risk for many infectious diseases due to this weakening of our immune system. There are some underlying medical conditions that are associated with an increased risk of shingles, and those would include asthma, chronic kidney disease, COPD, heart disease, and diabetes.
Can you tell us more about the vaccine and who might be more likely to get it?
I think, well, you actually let in with some great information there. Shingles is a lot more common than people think, right? So I think you already said through 1 million cases each year diagnosed. So some of the big points, and it doesn't mean that if you're 50 or older, you're the only group. But as the doctor was saying, 50 and older, especially with those underlying diseases, you could increase your risk. But just the age itself, as we age, our immune system weakens. We become candidates for many vaccines that can prevent disease. Just a little bit more. It's a good lead off. It's American Pharmacist Month right now, so it's a perfect time to remind the audience that pharmacists play essential roles in supporting just the overall health and general being of our communities. Being one of the most trusted healthcare providers out there, and definitely one of the most accessible. They can easily assess your risk for vaccine preventable diseases like shingles.
Some really important information and easy to get. Just go get it. You do not want shingles. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Take care.
For more information on shingles, including your risk and how your pharmacist can help, you can head to our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. We'll have a link for you there. We'll be right back.
Trying something new, it can be scary, and that goes for kids too.
Reading can be a big challenge. So the Cranberry Public Library created a safe, judgment-free space where they can practice reading, not just to themselves, but to a very special audience. Service dogs.
Yeah, Melissa Rice and Allison Newmeyer are here to tell us more, along with service dog Brutus, who I think thinks he's a lap dog. He thinks he's a really small dog.
I think he does. He does today, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about this program. It's called Tail Wagging Tutors. Why did the library start this?
So we wanted to provide a place for children to practice the reading in a non-judgmental environment. So who better to read to than dogs? They're not going to judge you.
No.
So we wanted something to help with the literacy of kids.
Wonderful.
Anything we can do to get the kids reading in a calm environment, because so many of them, when they go to school, they're scared to read in front of kids, their peers, because they're, oh my goodness, what if I get judged? Or what if I mispronounce a word? What if I goof up? The kids laugh at me, and we don't want that. We want to encourage literacy. So anything that the kids can do, to get them reading. And so who better than to read to a wonderful dog like this?
Well, we should tell people at home the wonderful Saxton family is standing over here. That's Brutus's parents.
Yes.
Pat and Neil.
Pat and Neil actually reached out to me to tell me about this program because they're getting so much joy out of it too, to see Brutus in action, working with these kids and helping them feel more comfortable and gain confidence through reading.
It is. Especially since, we've noticed there's so many, deficits in literacy since COVID. Just with kids being at home and being by themselves. So anything. Yes, I know. You love it here, Brutus. I know.
Come on over, boy.
It's a wonderful program, and we're so thankful for the volunteers that bring their accredited therapy dogs to our library to help us out. We have 4, sometimes 5 dogs that, and they're volunteer handlers that come, and we can get to read to the kids.
Oh, you know what? My first question was, how do these sessions work? Like Brutus actually sits down and he listens to the kids reading.
I know. You would describe this to me. So you would be amazed to know that sometimes Brutus even falls asleep during tail wagging tutors. So we have the kids sign up in advance, and they have 15-minute sessions, and each of the kids will sit and read to the dog for 15 minutes. They bring a book of their choosing, or we have books, or we provide books for them, and they sit and they read to the dogs.
You're right. I would find it hard to believe that he would fall asleep.
Yes, you would. There's they just sit. Sometimes they read a chapter book. Sometimes they bring a picture book. Whatever they are most comfortable reading, that's what the kids bring.
Pat, can we have you come over here? I think he just needs. Are you allowed to? I know you don't have a microphone on, but why don't you just come over and give them a snuggle? I assume that they're usually present during the reading. There you go.
Yeah.
There's Mom. There's Mama. You just needed your Mama. That's it. And lots of hugs. So you're looking for volunteers, is that right?
We are always looking for volunteers because the more volunteers that we have, the more kids we can get reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does have to be a certified therapy dog. We can't, we love dogs, but we can't just have any dog off the street coming into our program. We need a certified, insured therapy dog to come.
Yeah. Now,
and not just us. Libraries across the country do this program. I mean, we know of other libraries, in the city. One of our sister libraries, the Mars Public Library, they also have the program. I mean, they have one dog. They could use, more dogs.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly a program that's helping, I think, a lot of kids and bringing the community together in this really special way.
It is.
Yes. And what have you noticed the feedback has been from this program?
Melissa, I mean,
we can't
all the kids want to do it. I can't
registration fills up literally the night of, within 30 minutes.
Sure.
If we had more therapy dogs, we would definitely be able to offer more spots. But it just depends on how many we have. But the kids absolutely adore it. They love it.
And even when they age out, they've asked us, can we please have a night with the therapy dogs?
Right.
And we're going to have one in the wintertime, and they're so excited. They're like, oh, I can't read to the dog anymore, but can I just come and hang out with them because we love them so much?
It's a stress relief.
I'm sure. For us too.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing smiles to our studio today and telling us more about the program. This is wonderful.
All right, well, to learn more about the Cranberry Public Library's Tail Wagging Tutors program, on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. You can go right there, and we'll be right back.
Those cooler temperatures make you start to think about the holidays because they're coming soon. It's a few more weeks until Thanksgiving, and so we wanted to share with you the ways to donate to the KDKA TV Turkey Fund. You can see them on your screen. Right now, grab your phone. You can text KD Turkey to 50155. Go to any PNC Bank branch, and they will match donations over $50.
Yeah, such a wonderful cause, and we're trying to make it to $1 million.
Every year, it's our goal, and it looks like this year we might just do it with your help.
That's exciting.
Coming up Monday on Talk Pittsburgh, we're taking some of the first steps on Pittsburgh's brand new Walk of Fame. Boaz will be there, and we hear he's not the only celebrity in town. Have you heard about the hometown legends flying in for the party?
Oh, and we're taking you inside another private garden, this time in Grove City. We'll show you how an obsession with British gardens turned this green space into the ultimate English escape.
Thank you so much for joining us for Talk Pittsburgh. We're also streaming on CBS News Pittsburgh tonight at 9. KDKA TV News at 4 starts right now.